I would now like to introduce our next speaker for today's session. So our next speaker is George, and George is a mindset and performance specialist who excels in helping both corporate and individuals achieve breakthroughs by upgrading their strategic mindsets. So he's a dual board accredited NLP Master Trainer and an internationally accredited hypnotherapy Master Trainer. George has served in the Singapore Army for over 24 years before retiring as a lieutenant colonel to transit into leadership training. He has applied his expertise of NLP in both leadership and parenting journey. So today he will share tips and tricks on how to unleash the mental power of our little ones. So let's welcome NLP Master Trainer, George Lee.
Thank you so much, Gary. Thank you for the great introduction. And yes, welcome. Good morning. My name is George. I'm so happy to be able to embark on this journey to really motivate our employees on what really matters. Not so much about ourselves, but the one that we work hard for, our little ones. Now, without further delay, let me jump straight to my screen share. And I'm so eager to share what actually goes on in our kids' mind that really motivates us to work every day, painstakingly, hardworking, without any worry. So this is my topic for this morning, unleashing the mental power in your kids. I probably will be one of the rare speakers that actually touch on something that is outside of adults, outside of what we are really working for, because what truly motivates humans is when we know what we do actually means more than just what we get. It means something so much more to someone else. And there we have it. Our kids is very much one of the core and the key motivational push for many of our employees. Like what Gary have actually introduced, I spent 25 years of my first career life defending the country. This is who I was. And very much during my military career, I was very much into learning and development, L&D. That's where I got my pursuit in my Master's of Arts in Instructional Design, Specialist Diploma in Learning Sciences. But what really got me intrigued in this journey of how people are motivated to learn is what drives me to the next part of my career or my business, what I'm doing professionally right now. I dive deep into the concept and the structure of how the mind works, and this is where I got really interested and open up my vision, where I stepped into the field of NLP hypnotherapy. So this is who I am today. I am a dual board certified Master Trainer NLP, the only one here in Singapore. And of course, I'm very much trained in hypnotherapy, timeline therapy too. Now, today it's not about me, but it's really about the one that really matters in our life, our kids. So why do we need to learn why our kids are motivated, and why do we need to motivate them? Because when our kids are not motivated, we don't really concentrate well at work. Now, studies have shown it is estimated that 40% to 50% of our Singapore workforce are parents. And that means that half of our employees are actually working for someone back home, their kids. And a worry-free parent concentrates better at work. And when the person concentrates better at work, they achieve results. Now, a family-oriented organization creates happy employees. This is without a doubt. When a parent, a dad or a mom can know that they are not having the need to split themselves between work and family, that's where they can contribute 100% of their effort, their energy, and their concentration to the organization that builds them the happy family. And when an employee is happy, well, he gives back. He gives back so much more without any resistance and reluctance to the organization that built him and his family. So this would be a good reason why, instead of just motivating our employees directly, it will really do greater good when we are able to touch more than just them. We can touch their family. And this is where our mindset comes into the big picture. Now, our mental power comes from our mindset. Now, mind you, there is a deep difference between mindset as one word and mindset with a hyphen in between. I have deliberately separated the two because the word mind and set actually means two different things. A mind is something that all kids are born with, but it's the direction that the mind is set into that motivates the kid to do what he or she wants to do. The truth is, all our kids are given a mind. It's the content that every child has, but it's the direction that this mind is being set in that drives him to get the results that he or she has. Unfortunately, a lot of kids that I know of, they are not well trained in setting the direction, and therefore they misuse the mind that are given, and there is power. However, when the setting of direction is abused and misused, the power gets displayed in the wrong area. Our mindset shapes how we see challenges, failures, and success. A growth mindset helps us improve. A growth mindset helps us believe in improvement, whereas a fixed mindset limits our potential. Now, a growth mindset, one that is good, a mindset, it will set good attitude. And a good mindset shapes positive learning. A good mindset at the same time impacts great success. That's why improving our mindset is first, results will subsequently come. It's just a matter of time. Now, I'll have a quick question over here. What exactly is a growth mindset? This might be a question that a lot of people thought they would know the answer. Well, here's a clue. It is the blank that abilities can be developed through effort, practice, and learning. A growth mindset inspires resilience and progress. But what exactly is the growth mindset? It is actually the belief. The belief that my mindset is positive, I can relearn, I can grow, and I can be resilient and progress. So what does a growth mindset produce? A person with growth mindset believes in improvement. He values effort more than the results, and very importantly, he learns from mistakes. Many people get killed by mistakes, but a kid with growth mindset, do not look at the mistake, but he focuses on the lesson developed and gotten from the mistake. Now, as compared to a fixed mindset, what is a fixed mindset? Same thing. It is exactly the belief that abilities and intelligence are unchangeable. And what does a person with fixed mindset have? First of all, he avoids all challenges. He thinks that change is impossible. Second, he fears making mistakes. Now, fear keeps a kid small. Fear keeps children small. And fear keeps teenagers do small things. This is where limitations are not expanded, abilities are not grown, and the results are not enhanced. It is because of this fear. And the truth is, fear is nothing but purely an emotion. It is nothing but just an emotion. Now imagine the tangible result that the children, the kids, the child can get is actually killed by something that is intangible, which is the fear. How sad would that case be? Finally, people with fixed mindset, they believe in limitations. They believe in the limit and they don't believe that they can break the limit. Now here's the key difference. A fixed mindset avoids all challenges, whereas a growth mindset embraces them. One sees failure as the end, and the other sees it as a lesson. Now let's do a very simple and a quick activity over here. It's all about words. It's all about words. A person with a fixed mindset, a kid with a fixed mindset will say this: I cannot do this. Now, what do you think a kid with a growth mindset will say instead? I'll give you 3 seconds to think about it. If you know it, you know it. If you don't know it, well, you will know it in 3 seconds time. Ready? So, a kid with growth mindset will say, I cannot do this yet. He put in a time element to something that he doesn't have at this point in time, but he knows that he will get it eventually. Now, second question. A kid with fixed mindset will say, I am not good enough. What do you think a kid with growth mindset will say? 3 seconds up. This is what he will say. Instead of saying, I am not good enough, he will ask himself, how can I be good enough? Now, do you realize the first statement is a death sentence, whereas the second statement, I mean question. The second sentence that I said was phrased in the form of a question, and that question opened up possibilities and options. Third question. A kid with fixed mindset will say, why me? Why now? Whereas a kid with growth mindset will say this, try me. Try it now. You will realize that these two sets of sentences is purely just a small slight tweak in the words the kid chooses to use day in, day out. But you will realize that the word change will change drastically in terms of their action and therefore their results eventually. Now, here's the how. How do we develop a growth mindset in our children? The secret comes up next. The truth is, whether the child has a fixed mindset or a growth mindset, it is both trained. Now, training is something that every child goes through the moment they start breathing air. As an infant, as a baby, growing up into a young kid, going into their teenage years, and eventually maturing into a young adult. Now, everything that we know are being trained, even fear, even failure, even the setback, the trauma, the bad experiences that the child actually recognizes as a fear, a trauma, it's being trained. The only difference that makes whether this training is correct or incorrect is whether the individual that goes through the training is aware of the training that is going through. Now, here's the difference. A person with a fixed mindset will know and deliberately go into a training that he wants to, whereas a growth mindset, whereas a person with a fixed mindset on the other hand, is being put through the training without him knowing. And this is where environment comes into the big picture. So therefore, to build a kid's mental resilience, mental strength, mental power, i.e. a growth mindset, you have to engage all your kid senses. Your kid, all of his senses, and you have to start changing the words they use on a daily basis. Where does all this training come from? Well, these are just 4 common areas. These 4 are not exhaustive, but it will cover more than half of your child's interaction with his environment. Parents, school, sport, friends. Now, I love all these 4 areas because when you can cover all these 4 areas, this is where the child will be quite confidently assured that he will be going through a positive training. But it's important to choose the right context and the right environment in each of these 4 areas. So parents, half of our employees are parents, and you know that they will be the greatest impact to their child. Schools, sports, friends, these are things and choices that the child will make. Parents will make for the children. Therefore, you need to be very, very careful about this life decision you decide to put your child in. Which school to go to, what sport to engage in. Now, the truth is, sports help a child develop his ability, his psychomotor, his intellectual, his cognitive ability, his ability to change dynamically. All these are developed through psychomotor activities, body movement, and on top of that, the words that he says to himself on the daily basis. And of course, friends. Now, these are just 4 simple areas. However, how does parents, which is our employees, they are the greatest environment to how the kids are being developed. And when the child is not being motivated, parents cannot concentrate at work. On the other hand, when parents are well trained in choosing the right words, this is where the kids will grow. And when the kids grow without the parents' supervision, doesn't that free up the parents' time to focus better at work? And with this, it gives me great pleasure to introduce a boot camp, a 3-day NLP boot camp designed specially for our children. It's for teens, And this bootcamp is happening right here in Singapore immediately after the school term ends, right? On the 22nd to 24th of November, 2025. And this is just one of the start where we change the mindset and the way our kids think. Now, what exactly goes up in the bootcamp? First of all, teens understand the concept of 3E. What is the 3E? First, they go through experiential learning to understand the emotion. That's the second E. Finally, they will execute action based on what they have gotten with clarity, with confidence, and with the right direction. Secondly, they undergo simulated life situational tests. This is what in the military we call SIT test. Now it's simulated, so the pain is lesser, but in a controlled environment, this is where the kids learn multiple options. They open up their creativity mind so that they see options, they see alternatives, and eventually they will, in all situations, be able to unhinge the stuckness that they find themselves in. And when kids are able to move forward, when they are able to think faster than they act, this is where they get tangible results in whatever they do. Schoolwork, studies, relationship, communication, sports, fitness, anything you name it, it starts from the mind. So in summary, this is what I've shared over the last 15 minutes. The key difference between a successful person and one who is struggling often lies in the mindset. And remember, it is the direction that is involved in this mindset. So by choosing growth over fixed thinking, our kids open up doors to unlimited possibilities. Now, parents, on the other hand, we hold very heavy responsibility. So we have to be very conscious, be very deliberate of our words, and we need to design the best environment for our kids. And when employees can do that for their own children, this is where organizations flourish together with the employee family. So I thank you for your time, your attention, and feel free to connect with us, TheMindSynergy. Scan the QR code, and you have the link listed at the bottom of the slide as well. This is where you'll be able to find out more with regard to our program, the teens program, the adult program, the parenting program, and very much understand the benefit of how NLP is being utilized and being developed when it's being done in the journey of parenting. So that's it for me. I thank you for your time. Thank you so much.